been looking at the floor of this cab for a while and I reckon I'm going to do it. Cut that section out. Yeah, I'll get into marking this out and then I'll get to cutting the section out, at least get it tacked in. So the piece is basically cut to the shape I want. Sort of cut it back as short as I can because I want to keep as much as the original floor as possible. Probably should have left a little bit longer at the front, sort of running into the radius there, but I'll just trim it and make it work anyway. I'll get into cutting it now. And there's a rebellion on ice, and you'll pay the price as you fit this in here. You get the rough picture. So now it's fitting in a lot better, so I can start marking it properly. And yeah, it's actually looking not too bad. So the section's just about ready to tack in. Yeah, just clean around this top side. Now, so let us hear your voice. They said we have a choice, but I don't believe they really meant it so. We're gonna call them bluff, 'cause we have had enough. Take the power back, the foundation's gonna crash. Ain't freedom at the end of the road. There's so many lies and they're taking the blow. Give it to me, take it from me, nobody knows. See I'm being used and I'm gonna explode. Total destruction all over the place. There is so much hate, it's a fucking disgrace. Everyone is blind, can't see through the lies, but they aren't even looking at the wall of this. The floor's all tacked in. So that's widened it right up. A couple of gaps here and there, but doing the floor section, I ended up cutting it and trimming it again, just slightly out of square. It's just going to make it a nightmare when I get the two new trans covers. I go to weld them back together. Yeah, I'd have to have them slightly cut crooked, and yeah, it's just easier to square it back up. Gaps are a little bit ordinary now, and yeah, did a little bit with the radius, just bent it out a bit and changed it. And yeah, put a new piece in there, and yeah, it's a bit ordinary on the weld there, but trying to force the floor over and get it tacked at the same time, it's definitely a job and a half. We'll get into welding it, and yeah, then I'll clean it up and it should be done. It for the floor job. Didn't come out too bad. As you can see, there's a couple of edges in that, but I know I could probably get the hammer and dolly, just tap it around and get it a bit straighter. So around here is pretty good. It's a little bit sort of ridged up there, but yeah, I'll see how I go. Bit of an update of what's going on tonight. I've started cutting some sections there of the rear, up in there as well, where it was rusting out on the inside, so I ended up cutting the same area out on that other cab. And yeah, rough idea, sort of just fit him in there, near about. Needs a bit of tweaking, but as you can see, it's fairly close to the shape, so I'll weld that in. This is the top as well. Try and do this with two hands. So it just fits up in there like that, near about. Just holding it roughly. So that will, yeah, it's come in handy. Fixes them bits anyway. And yeah, I've got the floor mostly done. Beauty having a rotisserie. So
it's probably going to be a bit hard to see under here, but floor's all done. Bit more light. So the floor's all done. Might just need a bit of a hammer and dolly just to level things out. I just want it to look like it hasn't been chopped up, especially if it goes over the pit. So I'm pretty happy with how that's come out. At least it's centre now, so when the motor and the gearbox and that's all centred up on the front end. There we go. Yeah, so it looks a little bit better. Yeah, you can sort of, you'll see it more here. That was the reason I welded it underside. This sort of looks a lot more, bit ordinary. Yeah, did it the underside's smooth. This side doesn't matter because this will probably get underlaid and sand deadened and all sorts of stuff. So, but yeah, it's squared it up. Got water. All pins are looking a bit more even now, so that's good. Shit ton of room. Yeah, them sections sort of at a point, and this I'll probably maybe start looking at building some of these panels. Got the bead roller there, and something's good. One side marked out. Yeah, nothing square, but also mark the other side. I'll probably do a light pass on the reverse side and then flip it over, hit it on the right side, and hopefully that will stop it from distorting too much. When you put anything in a bead roll, it stretches and carries on, and then yeah, you're fighting it to try and get it back to fit properly. So trying to get it square on that's a bit hard, and from the flat edge to the vertical edge it's not even square, but yeah, I'll just make it suit. I'm going to pick it and it's hidden behind the tub anyway, so I'll bead roll this, see how it goes, and then yeah, get on the next bit. Very nice. Second panel's done. It looks a little bit different, but yeah, well, definitely do want to get myself a electric bead roller. Try and do it by hand's a bloody nightmare, but yeah, so I've got them ready to go for when it comes back from blasting. But while I was here, I decided to yeah, build some fill-in plates. One down there as well. See in the photo. Yeah, that's basically put them in there just to seal it up, because they were actually open, all the dust and dirt and shit and everything. So they're coming in through there or down there, and I'll weld my new panel on, seam seal it, and it should be basically watertight. And then I'll just run a tube down from the top with a like a 4-way spray head and just send it with the cavity wax. Just got to do the other side. You can probably see that's the gap. That one there. So yeah, it just tidies it up. It's just small stuff like this I want to do before it goes for blasting, and yeah, it's not really far off anyway. Bought some of the Oxytec Easy Foss and the Anti-Ox as well. Give them a go, see what it's like. Sounds like it's a go straight after blasting to put that sort of stuff on. Plus it sort of reconditions your metal so it doesn't end up like that in 2 seconds. So them bits done. Just been plodding around. I've filled in a few holes and bits and pieces. Couple of small ones down there, just ones that didn't need to be there, and all they were going to do is just let water and shit in. So that one there, one down there. So now I'm going to get into building this piece for along the back wall here, and at least have the back of the cab pretty much set for rust sections.
Stretched out like a rubber band, from one planet to the next. You went hunting with your grandfather that lonely night. I guess I'll meet you in the afterlife.
Didn't end up getting too much footage of that, but yeah, that's the panel done. Put the line in it with the bead roller. It's just roughly clamped in there at the moment, so might need a bit of tapping around at the ends, bits and pieces, but yeah, so that's all done. Just use the old bead roller. Ended up cutting a piece of angle and fitting it in there. So when I've got big long pieces like that, because there's no way I would have bead rolled that straight, I notched the front out of the clamp, so I have to get pop a new clamp, but anyway. So yeah, that just clamps down there like that, one on the bottom, and holds that tight. And yeah, it's just a bit of a guide, so when you're doing big long runs, just run along the side of that. It was a bit harder because the piece is that shallow, I had to put it up in here and space it and fucking carry on, but got it done. So yeah, that's that panel done, rear corner's done, them panels are right to go. So basically all I gotta do now is cut that bit out, same on the other side, top trip rails off, gotta cut that lip around the firewall, gotta cut that off, figure out how far back I'm cutting the bottom of the plenum there. And then yeah, this thing's basically ready to blast. So just out here again, fiddling around, got a bit done tonight. A fair bit done last night as well. And tonight I ended up cutting these sections out. There's the sides of the bottom of the plenum, where they come down and spot weld to the what you call the kick panel on these things. So yeah, as you can see, driver's side was pretty ordinary. I just knew as soon as it comes back it's going to have holes in it anyway. I thought, well, better off building the piece, get it blasted at the same time, and then it's clean, don't have to worry about it. So yeah, so I did this side, built that piece, welded in there. I welded a little bit on the front just to stiffen that up. That was pretty ordinary. Built that piece the other night, so I had to try and make that radius. It also gets bigger at the bottom and then it folds back on itself, so got that done, so that was pretty good. Couple of holes filled up. So yeah, and then the driver's side, yeah, ended up having to go a lot further in. Still haven't cleaned up the top properly yet, I'm still waiting on my tools. Yeah, so that didn't go too bad. I ended up a little bit short on the front, so I ended up just welding and building the edge a bit longer. Yeah, you could have put a piece in there, but I don't know, doesn't work too bad. Cut the lip off the firewall, and it actually started a section from here, so I ended up stitching along there and then grinding it, flattened it out a bit, and yeah, stiffened it back up. Yeah, ended up welding these holes in the pillar. I just, I don't know, guessing they're for something else. Got holes in the back of the plenum. Because this is a right-hand drive and these are left-hand drive vehicle built in America. Yeah, they had the holes still stamped for left-hand drive. So all they did was just quickly spot weld a set of plates in there, and fill it full of sealant. And then, yeah, of course, this one's gotten rusty behind the plate. There's two panels together, so I've actually cut the squares out and I'm going to leave them there. And then I'm actually going to build fill-in plates and bead roll a lip and just try and do it a bit nice. And yeah, probably like urethane them in there or something. make sure everything's painted, of course, and then it shouldn't be a problem after that. And then, yeah, if I need to, I can pry them off, get in there, spray whatever I need to. Yeah, so basically this thing's ready to go for blasting. So anyway, I reckon it's time for bed. Well, time to go and have a drink anyway. So I'll probably catch us on the next one.